Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we are going to be talking about the Addams Family 2. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and the cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. When it comes to direct competition, this movie has nothing. It has nothing to worry about because the last family movie to come out was way back in August, late August. And I was with the Paw Patrol movie. So it's been more than a month since we've had a kids movie in the market. And there's a very good reason for why that is. The reason why is because of the whole Delta variant situation that happened a few months ago. It was around that time where studios were starting to get very squeamish about releasing family movies in the market because, the under 12 demographic is obviously the target audience for these movies. But the problem is they can't get vaccinated. So that's a problem for the studios. I guess they were worried that kids were going to be able to convince their parents to go see movies in the theater. So they were just like, well, shoot, we can't release family movies now. We got to take drastic measures. And drastic measures they took because, as the Clifford movie that was supposed to come out last month. Then it got removed from the schedule entirely for a while, and now it's back on the schedule. It's going to come out in November, both in theaters and on Paramount Plus. And for Hotel Transylvania 4, which funny enough was supposed to come out this very weekend, that's just straight up withdrawn from the theatrical schedule and will now be going to Amazon. So yeah, because of all those shenanigans, Addams Family 2 has nothing to worry about until Ron's Gone Wrong, and that movie comes out in like 3 weeks, so it gives Addams Family 2 plenty of time to make as much cash as it can. So yeah, lack of competition, yeah, easy pro right there. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, the last Addams Family movie we got, which was in 2019, which obviously was the predecessor to this. Now, with that movie, I actually made a prediction video on that movie too, 2 years ago. With that movie, I was like, it's been like, at the time, like well over 20 years, almost 30 years since like the last Addams Family movies, the live action ones that everybody loves. Yeah, it's been a while since those. So I was like, do people still care? But according to the box office results, people still give a shit about Addams Family. Because that the 2019 one did quite well for itself. It made almost 100 million domestic, 200 million worldwide on a budget of like 24 million. How can you not call that a success? So it's no question, like no question at all that it would get a sequel, which is what we're getting now. And sure, that first Adams Family, well, the last Adams Family 2019 one, sure, it wasn't very good, but does that really matter? Does quality matter when it comes to family movies? Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And this is one of those cases where it might not even be a factor. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's another pro. Had a successful predecessor. What else can I say? I guess, brand name recognition. People still care about the Adams Family. They cared 2 years ago, so why wouldn't they care in 2021, right? So I guess we can count that as a pro, I guess. Uh, what else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah, those are all the pros. Cons, as I already mentioned, the first Adams Family will. I keep saying that. The last Adams Family, like the first Adams Family in the movie form was in the 90s, live action. These new ones are animated, okay? So when I say last, I mean the animated version, not live action, okay? Good. So the last Addams Family movie, I already said most people thought that movie wasn't very good, but it didn't matter back then. It made money. But sometimes those bad reviews can come back to haunt you. Especially with the sequel. Where the sequel has to pay for its predecessor's sins, even if the sequel is way better than the original. I've seen that happen several times. The most recent example was the tragedy that was the Suicide Squad. I made a whole video. I've talked about that several times, and man, that whole story makes me sad. But yeah, it is. This could be one of those situations where people who didn't like the first one, well, why would they watch the second, right? Like, why would you do that to yourself? But then again, family movies, sometimes quality doesn't matter. You can make the worst family movies possible, and as long as they look appealing enough to the target demographic, they will make money. Why do you think the Emoji Movie made money? Right? So, but still, that's something to point out. First movie not being good might negatively affect the second movie. So, yeah, I would consider that a relative con. Another more legitimate con is that family movie sequels, you never know what you're going to get when it comes to box office revenue. Because sometimes, sure, the second one does way better than the first. I mean, we've seen that happen plenty of times. Shrek 2, Frozen 2, Hotel Transylvania 2, uh, darn, trying to think of other examples off the top of my head. Trying to think of DreamWorks, thinking of, well, Toy Story 2, there's another one. Finding Dory, Incredibles 2. Those are easy. Those are easy ones. But yeah, there's plenty of animated sequels that have done well, but at the same time, there are plenty of animated sequels that did terrible in comparison to their predecessors. I mean, we literally saw it this summer with Boss Baby 2, right? There's that. There's trying to think of other ones that did bad. Angry Birds 2. Uh Trying to think. We really got to go back in time to look at those. Well, I guess. Well, Hotel. No, not Hotel. Kung Fu Panda 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 2 are weird situations because they made less domestically but more overseas. So I don't think either of those count, really. But, well, Happy Feet 2, that was a huge disaster right there. But yeah, I just know for a fact that there have been plenty of animated sequels that have succeeded and many that have failed miserably. So you never know which side this is gonna land on. So that's a con right there. The uncertainty of an animated sequel's box office. So that's con number two. Con number three, this movie is going the PVOD route. So while it's in theaters, you can watch it at home for $20, which I think is way more reasonable than Disney Plus and what they did, the whole $30 thing. But so that could really cut into its box office because some parents are gonna prefer watching it at home, where they're likely gonna pay less money to watch it at home than in the movie theater. So it might be a smarter financial decision for them, right? So yeah, that might actually do some damage to this movie. How much damage I can't say, but from what we've seen with like streaming movies and how they've done, yeah, it's not good. It's not it's not a good thing. It's way more safe to be just theatrical than to have like an alternative the whole day and date thing. I mean, that's pretty much been proven time and time again. So Yeah, that's definitely another con, the whole PVOD $20 thing. What else can I say? uh, I think that's it. Oh, it's in a. This movie's come out in a super wide amount of theaters, like way over 4,000, which could help, but at the same time, the amount of movie theaters you have doesn't mean much if the movie still does bad. I mean, Reminiscence, that came out, that was super wide and had the worst opening weekend in history for a movie in 3,000 plus theaters. So, theater counts, it's better to have a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't mean your movie's going to be successful. Right? It's never a guarantee. So, I wouldn't consider that a pro or a con. I think that's it. Okay. So opening weekend time, how much will it make? Oof. The 2019 one opened with 30 million, which was better than anyone expected, including me. I don't This is not going to reach that even without PVOD. It wouldn't have reached that likely. So I'm going to say, and also, oh, I didn't even mention how family movies just aren't cutting the mustard in the pandemic. I mean, there's more than enough examples of those. I mean, Paw Patrol did okay, but Space Jam 2, Boss Baby 2, Peter Rabbit 2 fails. All of them. Well, Peter Rabbit 2 was saved by overseas, but still, it's not good. So yeah, I think this will probably open around the range of maybe Boss Baby 2. Maybe I think that's comparable enough. So like between 15 and 20 million, that's where I'm comfortable with, somewhere in that range. And then overall, uh 40, maybe 50 million or more. I mean, I can't imagine this movie's too expensive. I mean, its processor only costs like $24 million. How much more expensive could this movie be? Like really? So yeah, it'll probably make its money back. Plus, with PVOD, that's extra revenue in this movie's pocket. So yeah, I don't see it failing, even though it'll do worse than its predecessor. So yeah, that's Addams Family 2, the second Addams Family 2 in existence. I know there was Addams Family Values back in the 90s. That one didn't do too hot either in comparison to its predecessors, so that might be an omen for this new one, but we'll see. So this weekend we got two more movies to cover: Many Saints of Newark and the big one, Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I thought the Jesus music would be a wide release because that's what it said, but apparently it's not anymore. So hooray! I have less work. Yeah, so I'll do those movies very soon. And then next week we have No Time to Die, the one movie coming out the one weekend. Thank God. It's been a while since we had one of those. Uh Then we have Halloween Kills, Last Duel, Dune, Ron's Gone Wrong, and then a whole clusterfuck of movies at the end of October. That's not going to be fun. And then that'll be October, which is going to be a very, very, very interesting month, to say the least. But yeah, anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage full of all previous movies I've covered this year, all the family movies from Tom and Jerry, Ray and the Last Dragon, um, Cruella, Jungle Cruise, Boss Baby 2, Peter Rabbit 2, Space Jam 2, Paw Patrol. Cover them all. You want to check out those or any of the other ones I've done this year, go right ahead. There's also there's also the canceled series where I talk about movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I mentioned the whole Clifford situation and the Hotel Transylvania 4 situation. Those are canceled episodes on their own. So if you want to check out what happened to those movies, plus all the others that were supposed to come out, If you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. That way you're up to date on everything. And there's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. September recap will come out next week, which I'm positive will come out next week, like right after the first week of October is over. And then October recap, first week of November. That's an easy one. But if you want to watch any of the past recaps I've made, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.